Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I have an easy recipe for you. It's an appetizer using puff pastry. And if you've seen any of my other appetizer videos, I absolutely love working with puff pastry. It's a little bit more fancier than crescent rolls or biscuits that you get in the little pan, in the tin. But let me show you what I have. I'm using puff pastry. I'm only going to use one sleeve. I've got an egg there that's just to seal it. A little bit of flour to put down on the parchment paper. Now this is Velveeta American cheese or Velveeta cheese, sliced cheese. I'm using baby Swiss, and I'm using honey ham, and I'm using Dijon mustard. Now there's a lot of ways you can change this up. I'm going to show you that a little later in the video, but I want to go ahead and get everything set up so we can get cooking. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. I upload 2 videos a week. Each I include an inspirational quote and a controversial joke. So let me put you guys on pause, get everything set up, and then let's get cooking. Okay everyone, the only thing with puff pastry, you probably want to try and work rather quickly because it dries out really quick. So I'm just using a little bit of flour on the parchment paper because I don't want this to stick. And the idea of this is to roll this out and get it pretty large. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know the measurements, I guess it's like 11 by 13 or something like that. You want this pretty long and large. And I prefer the Pepperidge Farm because as you see it comes in a sheet like this, pretty easy to roll out. Just have to keep rolling it in each direction. Probably should have weighted this down. But this is the hardest part of the recipe, is getting the puff pastry into a nice rectangle. And you want it kind of thin because you don't want these to have to cook forever. And there's 2 ways you can do this. I'm going to do them on parchment paper and cut them as pinwheels, but you could very easily, I'll show you when I cut these, do them in a roll and set them in a different type of pan and they'd be thicker. Make sure you can see that. So that's about as far as I'm going to roll them because I am tired. But like I said, you can get this as thin or as long as you like. And then next, I'm going to coat this with Dijon mustard. And I like the Dijon mustard because it gives it a little bit of a tang flavor. Now with this, you can also, one of the things I wanted to tell you, if you don't like Dijon mustard, use mayonnaise and some ranch. The ranch packet. You can put that on here, and that will also make it really good. And I'm just smoothing the Dijon mustard across the bottom. This will give it some moisture also, and it won't be just dry ham and cheese. But the puff pastry keeps it from being dry, because if you ever worked with puff pastry, you know it's really buttery. So now I'm going to start with the ham. And this is just honey ham, and I'm just going to lay some slices across just to cover it with ham. And most people, when they roll this out, they get a big huge one, but as you see, your girl is lazy, and this is about as far as I'm going to go. So then what I'm going to do is go a layer of Swiss cheese, because I think it looks prettier when you roll it up, and then a layer of this is Velveeta, my disclaimer, it is not, I guess, technically Kraft American cheese. It's the Velveeta slices that I have, and I wanted to use them up. And plus, like I said, I think it'll look better if you have 2 different types of cheese here. So, put that like that. Like that. Okay, so now I'm going to get ready to roll this up. I think I'm gonna roll it this way. Make sure you can see that. Yeah. So, just gonna start to roll. Just log roll this. And I am gonna put this in the freezer for about 20 minutes to firm it up so they'll be easier to cut. And when I come back, I'll show you 2 different ways to cut and cook these depending on how you want to do it. I'm going to use the pinwheel design, but there's another way to cook these that are meatier and thicker, and some people may prefer that a little better. Now, got that like that. Now what I'm going to do, because you need the egg wash to tuck in, so I'm going to tuck, you can see that, the cheese in a little bit here. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the egg wash to make sure this sticks together, because I don't want this to come apart. And I'm going to use the rest of the egg wash to coat the cuts, the pinwheels, when I'm done. Okay, so they're all pinched together on this side. As you can see, they're pinched closed. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in the freezer for about 20 minutes and let this get firm, and then come back and show you 2 different ways to cut and cook these. I'll be right back. Okay everyone, I've had them in the freezer for about 30 minutes. I'm going to take them out. And truthfully, you should probably wrap these in cling or saran wrap so they don't dry out. But I'm not really worried about that. You know, it's not that deep for me. So, now there's 2 ways you can cut these. That's what I wanted to show you. You can cut them thick like this and have about 8 of them and set them upright in a pan. But I like the little pinwheels. So I'm slicing them thinner. About that width, if you can see that. And there's a lot of variations you can do with this. You can use buffalo chicken. Say for instance you got a lot of leftover chicken, grilled chicken or roasted chicken. You can add some buffalo sauce to that and some cheese and spread that out on here and make that into buffalo pinwheels. And see, these are much easier to cut if you let them get almost frozen. And as you see, I'm getting thicker as we go because I'm getting lazy here. But you can make them uniform. Thinner is probably cuter. So I'm going to go back to making them a little bit thinner. And as you see, yikes, this is how they look. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting these and get them set up on the parchment paper and show you what they look like before I put them in the oven. I'll be right back. Okay everyone, I've got them all cut, and of course they're not perfect because you know your girl, it's not that deep. But just gonna space these out. And another thing I want to tell you guys happened to me. Make sure you cut your parchment paper so it's just barely fitting in the tray. I had a lot going over the sides in one of my videos and the oven caught on fire. Well, the paper did. I thought I was going to have to get out the fire extinguisher, which I can only imagine what kind of mess that would make in your kitchen. I've only used them on the job, how to use a fire extinguisher. I think everybody should know how. This one turned out pretty ugly, but I'm going to use it anyway. So there you have it. Got them all lined on the parchment paper. And now I'm going to just give them a quick egg wash. I have my oven at 375, and these are supposed to go for about 18 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes, just till the pastry is cooked, because you know the ham and cheese, the ham is already smoked and cooked, and the cheese doesn't really, it just needs to melt. And like I said, you can definitely, if you don't like the Dijon, go with mayonnaise and a packet of ranch salad dressing and mix that together, or you can do a honey mustard, or you can just do them plain with nothing. So now I've got these all coated. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven and come back and get these set up once these are done and tell you guys my joke. So there we go. They look pretty good. Make sure they're good and coated. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay everyone, they've been cooking for 20 minutes. It took a lot longer than I thought. It may possibly be my oven. But there you have it. Just took them out after 20 minutes. These are ham and cheese, Dijon, and puff pastry. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything set up so I can take some pictures and tell you guys my joke. And I think you'll like it. It's a nice little clean joke today. So I'll be right back. Let me turn the camera on. Okay everyone, there you have it. Ham and cheese and puff pastry with Dijon mustard. And I remembered, I used Swiss cheese, and also I used Velveeta sliced cheese with this. So you might want to give this recipe a try. So let me tell you my joke. This guy was riding down the expressway, I-75, and he had like 50 penguins in the car. And he was speeding, doing 75 on I-75. And the penguins were hanging all out the window. They were on the dashboard and the back windshield. They were everywhere. So a cop pulls him over and stops him and walks up to the car and says, "Let me see your driver's license registration." So he gives it to him and he says, "Sir, what's going on?" He says, "It's illegal to have all these penguins in the car. They're just hanging out just all over the car. That's illegal. I command you to take them straight to the zoo. I'm not going to give you a ticket this time, but take them straight to the zoo and get rid of these penguins." So the guy says, "Okay," pulls off. 2 days later, same guy driving down I-75, speeding again, got the penguins in the car. But this time they're wearing sunglasses. So the police officer pulls him over, he walks up to the car, he says, "You again. Didn't I tell you last time I saw you to take those penguins straight to the zoo?" He said, "Yeah, I did." He said, "But today I'm taking them to the beach." Okay, so that's it. That's my joke. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Give this a try. And like I said, if you don't like Dijon mustard, mix it with anything. You can do ranch. You can leave them plain. You can use pepper jack cheese, which I would have done, and I would have loved to have mixed chives or onions inside here before I rolled them up. But I'm not eating these by myself. So please have a good evening, and thank you for watching, and God bless.